Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another session here in Readers Magnet's featured author interview. My name is Leah, and I am your host for today. And with me is one of the Readers Magnet's featured author. And of course, we are very honored and happy that today she will be sharing to us who she is as an author, what exactly her book is all about, and of course, the inspiration behind her writing this book. Let's all welcome our one and only Miss Teresa Haven Pelinski, author of the book Rock by Jesus. Hi, Teresa. How are you doing?
Hello.
It's good to see
Hi.
you.
It's good to be
That's
here.
great. Yeah, I'm doing great as well. Thank you so much, Teresa. Okay, so yes, Teresa, this is the moment that we've been waiting for because this is our chance and our viewers too to know who you are as an author and what exactly your book is all about. But before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself to us? Maybe a little bit information of who Miss Teresa Haven Polanski is.
Um, my name is Teresa Haven Pelinski, and I
Mm-hmm.
live in Gilbert, South Carolina. I was born and raised in Orangeburg, South Carolina. I am 62 years old, and I am currently retired from the state government and
Mm-hmm.
was inspired by many people, Christian people. I'm a Christian myself, and I am to write this book. But this book came from God, and He had me write it,
Wow.
words, and He encouraged me to get up from at night when to write the words down so I wouldn't forget it. And I wrote them down several years ago. And but I am also a a painter, um, um, an artist, and a singer songwriter, and I'm currently working on my first album. And
Wow.
so I'm doing several things at the same time. But this is my first book, and I've written several stories, um, several books, but I haven't had any others published yet. This is my first, and I'm just getting this one down and seeing how this works, and before I publish another one yet.
Mhm. Right. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that to us, Teresa. We're having a superwoman here. A
Hmm.
very talented, from being the author, singer, songwriter. I like that. And also, who works with churches, government industry. Wow. I love that. Thank you so much for that, Teresa. Full of inspiration. And yes, this is the moment that we've been waiting for because we are now going to tackle more information about your book. Now, Teresa, before we do that. Do you have your book with you right now? Will you
Yes,
please show it to our viewers? Hmm.
yes, I do. Right here.
Okay. All right. There you have it, guys. So, yeah, can you put it closer to the camera? Okay. All right. Rockabye Jesus. Thank you so much, Teresa. And yes, I wanted to start with the title, Teresa.
Uh huh.
Rockabye Jesus. Can you tell us what this is all about? How did you start this book?
Well, I was lying in bed with my toddler several years ago when she was
Mm-hmm.
singing "Rockabye Baby," and all of a sudden the words to "Rockabye Jesus" started coming, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know where they were coming from, but then I realized it was coming from God, and so I started singing the words to the book, and then I kept hearing "Get up and write them down," and so finally got up and wrote them down before I forgot them, and then I
Mm-hmm.
uh, decided 2 years later came across it and just decided to publish it. Um, and I was going to sing it and put the song to it, but I decided not to at the time. Um, but the words to Rockabye Jesus are different than the words to Rockabye Baby. Um, Rockabye Jesus is Jesus sitting on a white cloud, and he's hovering over a playground, and he's watching children playing, and he's keeping them safe, and um, he lifts them up one by one, and he's telling them their story. Eventually, the cloud, he's never off of the cloud. He's sitting on the cloud, and he goes down into the playground on this cloud, and he lifts them up one by one, and he tells them his story, and then he tells them he'll answer their prayers, and then he'll keep them safe, and he eventually he also tells them when he answers their prayers, he'll heal them. He'll heal the sick, and he'll heal the blind, and he'll heal the lame to walk. And in the illustrations, I have I have children of all
Mm-hmm.
nationalities in the book. That's the way I wanted it,
Wow, that is lovely.
and I didn't want no child excluded. And I didn't even choose the child on the cover. I had the person drawing the book.
Mm-hmm.
I had them choose. Um, I would have had the little blonde haired little girl put on there, but I didn't. I just wanted them to choose a child. I didn't,
Mm,
but in the book, it shows the children surrounding Jesus, and they're just in awe of him, and they're smiling, and they're praying, and it shows Jesus healing the lame to walk, and they're out of the wheelchair.
wow.
They're in the wheelchair, and he heals a cancer patient, and
Mm,
he heals a blind person, a blind child, and he heals a child that can't walk, and he's up out of the wheel.
wow.
And the illustrations, there's a lot. I wanted a lot of pictures so that
Mm-hmm.
the child that can't read yet could get the gist out of the book, could get the story out
Mm-hmm.
without reading the words. And I wanted also that the mother or father or whoever's reading the book to the child would get a lot out of the story too. Um,
Wow.
I wanted this story to really touch the world like God would want it to, like to honor Him in the way He wanted this book to come out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
Wow, that's great, Teresa. And you know what? I really like how you come up with this book because I can tell that this is the kind of book, that every family should have. Especially you mentioned earlier, especially parents, if they are also having, let's say, having a hard time in introducing God to the kids, this book can really be helpful. You
yeah,
know, um, a thorough understanding of who God is, talk to them about Jesus, let them know who Jesus is, who came into this world to save us, to be our savior. But,
yeah,
just like them, Jesus has also friends, family, cared about people, and helped those in need. Wow. And
yeah.
also, here in this specific book, Teresa, I can tell that it is very important because you're also acknowledging faith on how or what is the important to teach kids when it comes to faith because there's praying, right? Wow, and I like that. Yeah, what's your favorite part in this book, Teresa?
I guess my favorite part of the book is Jesus. He begins with telling his own story to the children, and
Mm-hmm.
he lets them know that they're safe with him, and they can trust in him, and he's going to answer their prayers. Um,
Wow.
and children are so um, um, they're so can have so much faith,
Absolutely.
more than a mother or father. A child can
Mm,
have so much more faith and
right.
believe more, and they're so um, they're just so believable. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they-
Absolutely. You know,
but they can believe more in Jesus and have more faith
mhm,
in Jesus. And Jesus tells us not to hinder them, and and to raise them up with Him.
mhm.
And I just believe in and the way to start.
Right. This is actually something that is very awesome, Teresa, especially when it comes to talking about faith. It also helps our, children to gain perspective and on how to understand who they are as well as a child, as a human, why they are here on earth, and why they should choose the right things. In conjunction with service, we regularly, this book also emphasize that there is no substitute for hard work. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. The faith, the right attitude towards someone.
mhm,
Wow, this is amazing, Teresa. Now,
yeah.
Teresa, I am very curious because I can say that this book of yours is really a successful creation. Are
Mhm.
there any key challenges that you have encountered while writing this book?
And the challenges were the illustrations, were
Mm, right,
was
right.
how I wanted the pictures to be in the book, how I wanted
Mm,
Jesus to be, how I wanted him to appear to the children, how I wanted the children to react to him.
mm-hmm.
As
Right.
I
Especially
was
kids.
Sunday school teacher,
Go ahead.
children, the children would get so excited about hearing about Jesus, and their eyes would get so big.
Exactly.
So I would picture
Mm,
that and how I would want the pictures to be, and how what I remembered seeing in the children when I taught them about Jesus. So that helped a lot, and I
absolutely. Some of the key challenges are really creating the illustration because, again, family can have all of these, all generation. And yes, I like that not all the kids can really understand the writings right away. So it's also a good thing that in this book, there are illustrations that are easy to understand with, especially with kids. Wow. I love that. Now, Teresa, last question. What is the impact of you writing this book to you and to your loved ones? Especially that you already have your family, grandkids. What was the impact of writing this story?
well, my family is Christian based, and
Mm-hmm.
they are very Christian. All of them, all of my family are Christians. Basically, most of my family are Christians,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother, um, very Christian mother, and she raised me up in the church. Um, my daughter, I raised her up in the church. She can
Mm-hmm.
she can name all the she's 20, almost 24 now, 24 years old. But she when she was little, she could name all the books in the Bible.
Mm, wow, that is nice.
And but it was it's a good feeling to know that we all love each other.
Yeah. Also
That
supportive, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very supportive, and they've been very supportive about this book.
Exactly. And I can tell that. And I also know, Teresa, that this is also one of the reason why you're also here in this platform, because I know that they're also the one who encouraged you to, hey, step up, you know, share the experience that you had with God.
Yeah,
Wow. And that is priceless, especially when it comes from your family. Right. Now, again, Teresa, I also wanted you to take this opportunity to maybe give a message to those people whom you also wanted to discover your book, and of course to those people whom you've also helped for your book. So yep, take this opportunity.
I want to encourage everyone to take this, even though it's a children's book. It's not just a
Hmm.
children's book. It's
Exactly.
everyone's book, a family book that even the adults in the family can learn from. Can learn that Jesus is not just here for the children; He's here for you too. He
For
answers your too. Um, Jesus is there. All you got to do is call on Him. Um, he's just waiting. And in this time and in this world today, the things that are going on in this world today, I feel like we are in the end times. And I believe this book is needed. And this was the right time to publish this book. And I pray
hmm
it reaches everyone and it touches the hearts of everyone that it reaches. And I pray it reaches many and it reaches the world, and that it changes the hearts of many, and that can end some of this craziness in the world that we are going through today, and and that we all can love one another, and in Jesus and in Jesus' name, that all this will be carried out, as my wish to love one another and
Wow.
begin with Jesus, and just believe and have faith and live peacefully, lovingly together. That's my wish.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Teresa. You know what, Teresa, you writing this book, I also wanted to say thank you because me personally, I really love the devotion you have for our one and only. And I can tell that it really makes this book such an inspiring and beautiful work of creation. This is truly inspirational, Teresa. Thank you so much for gracing with us today. And not just that, but for also choosing Reader's Magnet to be part of this journey. So, yes, everyone. Mr. Ressa Haven Polensky, author of the book Rockabye Jesus. And also, viewers, I'd like to inform you that this book of Mr. Ressa Haven Polensky will also be joining during the LA Times Festival of Books. That would be happening on April 22nd to the 23rd. So, everyone, this is going to be your chance to know her as an author and, of course, what her book is exactly all about. And yes, everyone, again, Teresa, from the bottom of our heart, we love you and thank you so much.
Love
All
you
right,
too.
everyone, Miss Teresa Haven Polensky, author of the book Rockabye Jesus. Her book is available in Amazon.com and also Barnes& and Noble. And yes, please do also follow her on all the social media platform we have. All right, Teresa, again, thank you so much. And as we say it here in Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Thank you so
Thank
much, Teresa.
you.
You take care. Bye now. God bless you. Thank you.
Love you all.